Hello guys, and welcome to our fourth session. We are still on chapter 3 of our unit 1, so introduction to programming. So we are now in our week 4. However, this is the continuation of our topic, repetition structures. And our objectives for this morning is about number 1, explain the logic behind repetition structures. Number 2, design and develop appropriate algorithms with exception handling techniques. And number 3, appreciate the use of try-catch finally. So for our discussion, guys, for repetition structures, we are still on repetition structures. And the topic that we are going to talk about is the do-while loop and the for loop. So first things first, for the do-while loop. So this is the opposite of the do loop, or the do loop, of course, which works like while loop in other aspects though. So the do loop evaluates the condition after the loop has executed, which makes sure the code block is always executed at least once. So however, unlike for and while loops, which of course test the loop condition at the start of the loop, the do while loop checks its conditions at the end of the loop. So it checks the condition after executing the statements. So in our example here, example 7, the do while loop will execute the loop body one time. That is for sure because it checks the condition after executing the statements. So as shown below, on the syntax, it will be do, then the statements, then while for the condition. So it is depicted here on figure 8 on our flowchart, that the starting point will be the while loop start for the do while loop. Then it will be going to the execution of the loop body, and then you have the condition. So if the condition is true, therefore you are going to execute the loop body. If false, however, the loop ends, or the program will be terminated. So that will be the flowchart for the do while loop. In our example here, it says activity 7. Pero in our activity there, you can see it's 6.2. So I will just edit the in our Google Classroom. So we have here the code. This one, C# program illustrates the do while loop. So of course, using the system, which is the library for recalling the program for system. Then the class do while loop demo, which is the name of the loop of the class. And then the public static void for the body, which means you're declaring your variables into static void format into the main function. So again, do while loop is a loop within a loop. So you're going to declare integer x as 21. So the starting value is 21, and then the do statement. So for the do statement here, we have the line will be printed even, and if the condition is false. So therefore, on the console, you're going to write for the output gigs for gigs. So that will be incremented 21 times, while x will be less than 20. So we'll try if what will be the output for this statement. So we're going to copy this. Then copy. On our browser, what we're going to do is you're going to type there online IDE. So we're going to look for Code Chef. So since our program is C#, so let's select C#. And then for the value, paste this here. Okay, so we're going to add another close brace. So that is to cater the braces that is being put onto the function. So running the program, you just click run. And then for the output, we have gigs for gigs. Okay, so that will be your output. So since integer on x is 21 and the while statement is for 20, so what happens if we're going to change the value for 22? So if you're going to click run, so there will be no, this will be the output. So you just experiment on the values that is being put here, especially if you're going to change the condition. So don't forget to put your programmer signature at the end, and that will be your activity 7. So for your activity number 8, or for the let's move on to another topic. This is on the for loop. So for loop is a bit different, and it is preferred when you know how many iterations you want. So it is either because you know the exact amount of iterations or because you have the variable containing the amount. So a for loop is a repetition control structure that allows you to efficiently write a loop that needs to execute a specific number of times. So for the loop, has similar functionality as while loop, but with different syntaxes. So take note of this. The for loop has similar functionality as the while loop, but with different syntax. So for loops are preferred when the number of line or times loop statements are to be executed is known beforehand. So meaning to say, you have statements that is being preferred for the for loop before the statement will be executed. So the loop variable initialization condition to be tested and incremented or decremented for the loop variable is done in the line for the loop, thereby providing a shorter, easy to debug structure for looping. So when we speak about conditions to be tested, these are the variables that you wanted to initialize. However, you have the increment, decrement of the loop variable. The increment or the decrement is just the iteration of whatever the loop statement will follow. So if you choose decrement, so nagabuhin guys ang value. If you choose increment, nagadugang. So depending on the loop statement for the syntaxes, so the syntax is found here for initialize, condition, increment, and the statements. So the example is initialization part is evaluated only once when the for loop starts. Just like in our example on the flowchart, you can see here that during the start there will be initialization expression and then the test condition. So we have statements for test condition if it is true, if it is false. So if it is true, you're going to go to the block of statements and then update the expression. So again, going back to the test condition, and if the value is false, the program will be stopped or be terminated. So on coding 108, you can see here the for function for the value for the for loop statements. So as you can see, we're still using system as on the library, and then declare the for loop demo for the class and the public static void, which is usually the starting connotation for the end statement. Then the loop, the for statement is here. You can see for the initialize for the integer, x is equivalent to 1, then x is less than or greater than 4, and then the increment. So increment siya because you can see there plus plus. If you can see there minus minus, then it's decrement. So then after that, the gigs for gigs line will be posted on the console. So guys, if you're tired of gigs for gigs statement, you can change it to your name. Okay? Para nga hindi siya boring kay gigs for gigs lang gid pero may ginaano naton. So you can actually change that into your name. So copy that. That's our number 8 activity. Paste it here and add another close bracket. So as you can see, the gamay lang a line guys now. Then what we're going to do is to click the run button. then the output is here. So okay, so excuse me guys, okay, so I think that's about it for our activity. I'm sorry about the video presentation because for you all know guys, that will be the activity for this week, and for 2 statements. I will just refer to your Google Classroom guys for more information, and thank you for watching the video. Don't forget to jot down your present statement, comments there. Put your comment on our comment section for in the YouTube for your attendance, so you put there present. So thank you very much for watching this video, and good morning.